Hello there everyone, my name is Rose Monkey and welcome to the park. I've seen a little bit of playthrough of this game and I couldn't resist getting it and playing it for myself. I don't know why. So let's get started with this. Also, happy Halloween, because this is going to be up on Halloween. So let's get into it. The park is a narrative experience best played in a dark room wearing headphones. It deals with subject matter that may be disturbing to some players. During the course of play, the park may manipulate graphics, audio, control settings, and your sanity. This is perfectly normal and should not be any cause for alarm or psychiatry. Great. This game is apparently a spin-off of a MMO called The Secret World, I believe. Set in the same universe as it anyway. This is a single-player thing that's based off the same universe. I've never played The Secret World, but I have looked very, very, very briefly into what it is. And I'm actually interested in maybe trying it out after this. We'll see how this goes first. Funcom presents.
In my heart and mind, I always return to Atlantic Island Park.
That's nice.
Where's Mr. Bear?
I haven't seen Mr. Bear, Callum.
Hey kid. Nice tattoo, lady.
Stay in the car. I'll go and ask information.
What? Oh, okay. We're moving. We don't turn very fast. At all.
Attention patrons, the park is now closed. Please make your way to the car park at your earliest convenience.
That's nice.
Employees prepare the park for shutdown.
Press A to interact with objects in the world. Examine. Examine!
Callum was born the day this place opened. This is his favorite place in the world.
1st of May 1977. So it's not based in modern day. But to be honest, I could tell that from her clothes. Oh, cutscene!
What?
You okay, lady?
Hey, Lorraine. Lorraine. Don't blame yourself, Lorraine. People lose things all the time. Take a deep breath. Think about the last place you saw your son's teddy bear. Hey, stop! I think your boy just ran into the park. I'll unlock the gates for you.
Oh, great. Yeah, seems like a lost teddy bear is the least of my worries right now. Press B to shout to Callum.
Callum, I told you to wait in the car!
Over here!
Okay. Achievement! Welcome to the park. Okay, so he's gone that way.
There's something special about the entrance to an amusement park. A line drawn between the real world and the world of whimsy within.
Okay.
On this side, the apathy of our everyday lives. And on the other, anything we might dare to dream. It's no wonder Callum ran back inside. I wouldn't want to leave either.
Attention employees, the park is now closed. Have a safe journey home.
Interesting. I've never worked in a theme park or anything like that, so I don't know if they actually have announcers that kind of go, yeah, the theme park is closed now. Did I just time travel for 10 minutes there and everything just went to nighttime?
Oh God. The park. What happened here?
I wonder. Run, 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 run.
Come to mommy, Callum!
Callum's not saying anything anymore.
You can't catch me.
Oh, no, he is. Oh, there he is. Come here. Nah. We're not going to be able to catch him. That's not how games like this work. Let's have a peek around. I don't want to miss anything. I want to have a poke, see if there's anything to see.
It's easy to get lost here.
Okay. So we have Sideshow Alley, which is where we're at. The House of Horrors, which I saw down the road. Tunnel of Tales. The Octotron. The Ferris Wheel. The Bumper Cars, and the Roller Coaster. Great. Do I get a torch in this game, or am I just relying on street lamps? I'm assuming I'm just relying on street lamps. Okay. I'm just gonna keep running. There's no reason not to. Please tell me you didn't go in there.
Come out, sweetie.
Catch me, Mommy.
Does that mean he did go in there, or he didn't? Carrie Killian is Satan's rude word that I'm not gonna say.
Callum, stay where you are.
Over here.
I really hope he went this way. I ain't going in that house.
Callum!
That doesn't help me. Examine shoe. I'm trying to examine the shoe.
This belongs to Callum.
I can turn the shoe. Ooh. That's nice. Oh, I kept the shoe. Okay. Examine the plaque. Let me...
Chad the Chipmunk, huh? Just a drunk guy in a suit.
Chad the Chipmunk, worst in class. Chad can't even seem to pass. Chad gets angry, likes to fight. Chad is beaten every night. Chad will have a dead-end job. Chad will die, useless slob. Well, if I hadn't read the other map, I'd say, they're trying very carefully to be rude without being rude, but they're not afraid of being rude. Let me...
I wonder what this is.
Oh, goodness me, what is this writing? Purchase the land on Solomon Island for a pittance, I might add. Whatever old Archie Henderson did to the locals, just the mention of his name had people slamming doors and locking shutters from the moment I arrived on the island. My lawyers had arranged everything in advance, but the realtor still had to come and deliver the keys to me personally. He took it upon himself to offer me another warning. I don't know what you're planning to do with this land, Mr. Winter, but the soil here is bitter with a curse, carried from the old country. Old man Henderson? He did terrible dark things, the land remembers, sir. I dismissed him shortly. I really wish all that whispering wasn't happening at the same time as me trying to read this, it's very off-putting. I dismissed him shortly afterwards, mostly amused by his pathetic attempts at warning me off. I have a great vision for this place, and the will to see that vision through to the very end. Atlantic Island Park. The name is perfect, and I cannot imagine it being anything else. This is the start of something amazing. Well, it's definitely the start of something. Amazing isn't exactly the word I would use. Also, sorry, I'm going to have to step back a second, but just the way those streetlights right there in front of me are, that just looks really creepy, like some kind of being or something. You know what, where it melts into the trees behind it? It looks kind of like an owl or some kind of thing. I don't know. I wonder if that's a little touch, like, placement of stuff. Okay. To you too. Right, so this is the Tunnel of Tales.
Callum, tell Mommy where you are.
Do we have to ride the...
Callum, stay where you are.
Come on, Mommy.
Do I have to ride the boat? Is it gonna make me ride all these rides? Can I? It's gonna make me ride the rides, isn't it? Great. Fasten your seatbelts. We're going for a ride. Fun. Is this some kind of like love tunnel or something? That's usually what they have when you ride on a little boat that's like a bird. I suppose this is a swan. But it's normally like a love tunnel. Although... Oh! I can see my feet! Cool.
Near a great forest, there lived a poor woodcutter, his wife and his 2 children.
That's
a
nice.
boy named Hansel and a girl named Gretel.
Okay.
They were very poor and had very little to bite or sup.
Don't make me hungry. Talking about food always makes me hungry. Hello.
What will become of us? The woodcutter asked his wife one night.
You're gonna starve.
I tell you what, husband. We will take the children into the thickest part of the forest tomorrow and abandon them there.
Skadoosh.
No, my wife. I cannot do that, said the man.
Nice voice acting,
then
dude.
we all 4 starve, you fool. Hansel and Gretel overheard their parents talking, and Gretel began to weep.
Not surprised.
Do not fret, Gretel, Hansel said. He crept out of the hut and gathered white stones from the ground to fill his pockets.
Okay, so this is an elongated version of Hansel and Gretel. Nice. Wonder if those are cameras or spotlights. Oh no, they're the projectors.
Next morning, the woodcutter leads the children into the forest. Before they leave, their mother gives them a slice of bread and warns them that they will get no more food that day.
There are some children in the world that will be glad of that slice of bread.
Leaves a trail of white stones behind them as they pass into the woods.
Yay.
When their father leaves them, the children wait a while, then follow the trail back to their parents' house.
Clever children.
After receiving a thorough scolding from their parents for getting lost in the woods, the children are sent to bed without any supper. Hansel tried to sneak out and collect more white stones, but found that the door was locked. Tomorrow I will take them into the woods myself, the wife told the woodcutter.
How is getting no supper a punishment when they were already told they were getting no more food that day anyway?
In the morning, their mother gave them a slice of bread and led them deep into the forest once again.
What the hell is that?
Hansel broke his bread into pieces and left a trail of breadcrumbs to lead them safely home. But hungry-eyed birds snatched up the breadcrumbs and his trail was destroyed.
Whoops. It's only fought with breadcrumbs.
By their parents and unable to find the trail home, the children wandered in the forest for 3 days.
Aww.
The children stumbled into a clearing with an exceedingly strange house.
Music suddenly got very
Its
cheerful.
walls were made of gingerbread, and its windows were panes of clear sugar. Hansel, desperately hungry, ran forward and began to nibble on the walls.
I like the use of sound in this game as well, the way that it gets louder and quieter depending on where you are.
Nibble, nibble, little mouse. Who's nibbling at my house? An old woman emerged from the house, sniffing the air and peering around with cloudy eyes. Oh, you dear children, who brought you here? Just come in and stay with me. No harm will come to you.
Sure.
But Hansel and Gretel stayed back, for the old woman reminded them of their cruel mother. Come, children, don't be afraid. I have something for you.
I bet you do.
The old woman offered them 2 enormous lollipops. The children took them and began to eat.
How do you eat
You
a lollipop?
see, nothing to fear here. Come inside. the old woman urged, and the children, still licking their sweets, followed.
A puppy's more effective if you want to get children to go inside your house. Ugh.
Once inside the house, the old woman changed. She stuffed Hansel into
Stop
a
getting
cage
trippy.
and put Gretel to work, sweeping and cleaning her hut. Your brother will make a good mouthful, the old witch told Gretel. Once he is fattened up,
Okay.
I shall feast upon him.
Nice.
Time passed, and poor Hansel refused to eat, fearing the day that the witch would eat him.
I'm not
The
surprised.
witch, for her part, grew impatient. Today I will cook and eat your brother, Gretel. Climb inside and light the oven. But Gretel pretended not to understand. I do not know how. Where is the opening? Fool, the old witch said. The opening is here. And she moved to show Gretel. Seizing her courage, brave Gretel gave the witch a shove, and the old crone tumbled forward into the oven. Gretel slid a large iron bolt over the door to the oven. Gretel freed her brother Hansel, and together they lit a fire beneath the oven. And though she screamed and begged, the children sat by the oven until her screams had stilled, and the witch was cooked.
Bit excessive.
And then, because even children can't
Dude.
survive on sweets, they divided up the body of the old witch.
Is that her head and
ate
spine
her.
that Gretel's holding there? Well, that's a version of Hansel and Gretel I've never heard before. But yeah, that's the one thing they do say. I meant what I said in there. Puppies. What are you looking at? Puppies are always more effective at getting children to go where they're not supposed to. If you guys out there are young children, or if you have young children, you know young children, whatever, always advise them never to listen to the person with the puppy. It's a bad idea. I was always taught when I was young to find a mother with children. But if somebody comes up to you and says, I have a puppy, and lets you stroke the puppy, and then says, do you want to go and meet the other puppies? Never say yes. But there was a study done, and yeah, that was far more effective than, like, getting kids to follow for sweets and all sorts else, was puppies. Are we on the right way? Yeah. Let's leave.
Hansel and Gretel. I used to read it to Callum when the electricity was shut off.
Uh,
Those poor children. The whole world against them. The forest, the birds, the old witch, even their own parents. I used to imagine that Callum and I were the kids in that story. Not mother and son, but brother and sister, hand in hand against the unkind world. We were always hungry, looking for our own house made of candy, looking for the sweetness that could take the pain away.
I can hear
Hunger
whispering.
leads people to desperate, terrible places where the tree branches reach like claws.
So, you weren't particularly well off then, it sounds. I guess that would explain why this teddy bear is so important, because it's not like you could go out and buy another one. If you're kind of not exactly fantastically well off. But yeah, no, finishing what I was saying, if you guys know any young children that would be swayed by puppies, advise against. I was always told... Oh, is that Callum? No, that's a plant. For a minute there, it looked like a person.
This place.
Why do you keep getting all trippy? Wait, is that blood? Or is that oil? Hi. Oh god. Despite the constant interruptions to work, Atlantic Island Park will be opened on time. The governor is booked to cut the ribbon, so the only real question is whether we will have any customers. I'm not truly worried. The customers will come out of simple curiosity. I deduced what was... Deduced? I think that says deduced, but I think it should be deducted. What was needed from the... The what? Oh no, it is deduced. What was needed from the... something writings of Archie Henderson. I want to know what that word says, hang on. It looks like band or something. Anyway, it's astonishing to think that a resonance of positive emotions can be used to fuel such a process. Henderson himself chose to use negative, and that caused some of the taint that still lingers in this place. I will not make his mistakes. Very soon I will know if this has all been for nothing. Right. Okay. You want creepy ass teddy bear. Wait. Have you got a knife sticking out of your eye? It's really hard to see. Yeah, you have something sticking out of your eye. Dude. Okay. I need to keep going, I'm losing time. I want to try and split this up into 3 parts if I can. I've heard... Oh. I've heard it's relatively short. So I want to try and split it up into 3 parts. 1 part for Halloween, 1 part for All Saints Day, and 1 part for All Souls Day. Just because I like doing things on special days. Is that the Octotron? I believe it was called. I can see a Ferris wheel in the background. Ferris wheels are creepy, but fun.
This old thing used to make the blood run to my head. Make me dizzy.
Yeah. You worry me. You're kind of a bit... Like, at first I was kind of like, oh, you're quite a trendy mother, sort of not freaking out that your son has ran inside, just going, oh, silly child, I'd want to run inside too. You know, that makes perfect sense to me.
The guy just snapped. Those poor kids.
But just finishing off what I was saying, yeah, now her talking about wanting to be brother and sister instead of mother and son, and fantasizing and stuff, I don't know, that's a bit random. Okay. We were waiting for our turn on the ride, Frank, me and the boys. This fellow in the chipmunk suit is making an ice carving while people took photographs. Lawrence wanted to go over to him, but I've always been a bit wary of those suits, they give me the creeps, it's silly, I know. Anyway, the chipmunk man, he was carving and picking away at the ice, and at first we thought he was making some animal like a tiger or lion, but as more and more ice fell away, when you first looked it was like a human face, smiling out of that block of ice. But the more you looked at it, the more you saw that there was something not quite right about the proportions, something unnatural that made your heart begin to beat just a little bit faster, like you were prey and that thing in the ice was a hunter. But then these teenagers walked up, and one of them made a face at the carving and said something rude to the guy in the chipmunk suit, and then, well, he went berserk. For a few moments it was chaos, everybody was running away from the guy who had one of the teenagers on the ground, and he was stabbing him with the ice pick, and blood was spraying, and people were screaming, and Frank and I had the kids, and we were dragging them away as fast as we could. And the last thing I saw before Frank dragged me away was that the eyeball of one of those poor kids had landed on the ice sculpture, making the horrible creature look more or less alive. That's the most bizarre statement I've ever read in my entire life. A bunch of kids get stabbed by a man who's been carving an ice sculpture, and you spend 2/3 of the thing talking about the ice sculpture, not the fact that a bunch of teenagers have just been stabbed to death with ice picks. Realism, people. I think the spraying blood and crazy man in a chipmunk suit is going to be a little bit more,
I can't get on while it's moving.
Okay. Why would you even want to get on? I get the feeling that's what we're going to be doing. What happens if I increase the speed? Can I make it go really fast? Hee hee hee. Can I break it? I really hope Callum's not on there. He'd be a bit upset if he was. Dude. Okay, enough. I'm having too much fun. Come on, slow down. I want to get on. Somebody better not do that to me now while I'm on it. Keep slowing down. I don't know if keeping pressing it is making any difference, but I'm going to keep pressing it nonetheless. On we go. For any of you guys who don't like spinning rides, I would sort of not really pay much attention to this. I don't mind. I'm not very good with waltzers. I can't cope with going round twice. You know, like you're in the little cart that's going round and then you're going round again. This kind of thing's normally not too bad. Although when she starts going trippy like that, that really doesn't help. I do get travel sick though. Oh, hi! Yeah, when I said not to speed me up like this, I meant it. Stop it. Okay, so main character Lorraine lady is a bit doolally from the sounds of things. Because all this seems a bit bizarre. Is there someone in there? I see you, you nasty little person, speeding the ride up, making me go around in circles. He looks a little bit like the guy that just appeared, like the thing that just appeared. I do actually feel slightly dizzy now. Oh, and shock horror, he's not actually there. Is this ice then? Like, I think the bit in the middle is rubbish, like newspapers and stuff. But this bit here that I'm standing on, this looks a bit like ice. It's all shiny. And that bit looks like ice as well. So do these. Do you know what you see what I mean? Like, it looks a bit like ice. So maybe that's relevant. Wait, am I meant to be going this way? Or am I meant to go in that way? Or is that the way I just come from?
Come to mommy, Callum.
I can't hear him anywhere. Where'd he go? Oh wait, is that him there? Or is that another post?
Stop! Callum!
Okay, that bridge is out. So I guess we're going back this way. It kind of almost pointed me.
Treachery hides in thoughts. Treachery that lashes like a whip and scars our insides.
Lovely.
The first time I saw Callum, my thoughts betrayed me. I looked down at this wrinkled, red, bawling thing and I thought, is that it? We build our world from expectations, and the world that I had built for Callum is no different. He was so real, so there, and so far from my expectations. And they shattered, and as they fell in pieces, that one treacherous thought became a new foundation. All of the love that we shared, all of the warmth and goodness that followed, built on a single, traitorous thought.
Okay. So Lorraine suffered from postnatal depression. That's what it's called, I believe, or postpartum depression. When you suffer from sort of depression following childbirth. It sounds like she had a lot of insecurities about herself after that. What was that? Is there something in there? There's totally someone in there. I can't see them properly. It's not going to show me. You're just a silhouette. You're just going to annoy me, aren't you? Okay. I thought working in the park for summer would be a lot of fun, but the end of season here really drags. There aren't that many tourists around. And so most of the staff spend their days spending around gossiping, and most of that gossip is about Chad. I mean Steve. See, even I've started to call him Chad, and I went to school with the guy. It's that goddamn suit. In the beginning it was a laugh. Oh, is he the chipmunk? Steve the local lush as Chad the chipmunk. Child-friendly mascot at Atlantic Island Park. Lock up your daughters and all of that. But the more he wears that suit, the weirder Steve is getting. At first it was little things like refusing to change out of the suit at work and taking it home with him every day. Oh dear, I see where this is going. But then I saw him at Susie's diner, still wearing it, and it wasn't even a work day. Some of the staff complained, discreetly, to the park manager about the smell, and I saw him walking and talking with Mr. Winter, the owner, one day. But nothing seems to have changed. The suit still smells like a carcass whenever Steve walks by. And apparently Steve has picked up some new skills since the last time I saw him. Puking up in a gutter outside the Sybil station? I can't read that last word. Something station. Because he sure as hell can carve a mean ice sculpture. Those shapes he makes in the ice though, they give me the creeps. Steve came by the booth today, lucky me, and he just hung around for a while. I couldn't really tell because of the suit, but it seemed like he was just staring at me, sizing me up, eye-fucking me, whatever he was doing. I asked him what he wanted, and he just stood there not saying anything. Eventually I called my supervisor, and when he came by, Steve, wandered off. My supervisor told me to put everything in writing, so here it is. Also, I quit. I don't want to see that chipmunk suit ever again. Laura Henman.
Where are you?
Oh no. Oh! I told you there was someone in there! Is she still there? I say she. I can't see her anymore. She crept up while I was reading. That's just mean. What the bejeebus is that? I don't even want to know.
Mommy needs to see you, Callum.
Over where? Oh, fantastic. Bumper
Constant
cars.
crashes and 80s music. I guess it floats someone's boat.
Has to float someone's boat. Am I gonna have to ride a bumper car? Wait. Oh! Cutscene! Okay. Yep, Lorraine is doolally as heck. Enough with the trippies. I don't want to ride a blimmin'... Okay, so there's one over there with the lights on. There would be, wouldn't there? I don't want to ride a... I said cable car before, didn't I? It's a dodgem, isn't it? A bumper car. I'm thinking cable car because I'm thinking of the cable that leads up. Although, that looks like a weird way of it running. I don't know, I've never really got it. Accident report? Okay. Francis Dufresne, labourers working on the crane. During the transport of the bumper cars into the arena, one of the straps attaching the load to the truck came untied, causing a cascade of bumper cars onto Francis, who was standing directing the driver. Francis was crushed by the weight of the cars. Describe any injuries caused. Francis was killed. Did the employee see a doctor? Yes. I'm assuming after he was killed, since there wouldn't have been a doctor there before. If yes, did you file an employer's portion of a workers' compensation form? Yes. how you would charge a dead guy for his doctor bills, I do not know. But I'm assuming they would have had to foot the entire bill. But I guess his family still could have been charged for something. I don't know how all that works. We don't have things like that in this country. Dexter, the truck driver, claims to have seen someone on the back of the truck, on the back of the load, sorry, undoing the straps. Nobody else reported seeing this. The sheriff has requested that Dexter provide them with urine samples. Double checking the straps after transit should be mandatory, and drug screenings for all drivers. It wasn't his fault. Have the unsafe conditions been corrected? No. Additional comments. The local labourers are very superstitious, and this hasn't helped, I think that says. Some of them are refusing to work until we have someone from the local church walk the park and exorcise the bad spirits. I'd agree with them at this point, to be honest. But what kind of a... I mean, it wasn't the driver's fault. Why is he getting a drugs test? Oh no. Demon bumper car. I can't move, so I'm assuming this is just a cutscene. Hello. Goodbye. What if I just calmly stood there while that happened? Oh, now I can move. Can't move very fast though. Calm down so I can run. I can't run when she's hyperventilating. Say hyperventilating. She's not exactly hyperventilating, but you know what I mean. Oh, is this the way to the Ferris wheel? Right. I'm guessing this is progression.
It's a matter of public record that I am a failure as a mother.
Okay.
Once, when Callum was very small, I left him asleep in the car while I ran an errand. Don't even remember what it was. When I came back, the sheriff was standing next to the car, watching my boy through the window. I didn't like what I saw in his eyes. Judgment. He wrote me the ticket without saying a word. Just the scratch of his pen on the notepad. When he gave it to me, our eyes met. I know what you're going through. My daughter, Helen, she just gets some help. Help was a bolt of lightning. Help was 1,000 volts surging through my veins. Help is agony. I'd rather die. I wanted to scream. I'd rather you pulled your gun and shot me. But instead my mouth said, yes, Sheriff.
Okay, now I'm not sure which is progression. I'm guessing that's progression. That seems to be progression as well, but later. Also, interesting thought about that. So, I'm assuming that though it wasn't actual electroshock therapy, I think the whole thing was linked to the cable cars, and the idea of the cables sending the signal through to make the not the cable cars, the bumper cars, sending the signal through to make them run. So she was kind of putting that as if it was the electroshock therapy. But I think that's an interesting jump that she's made there. And I'm assuming the electroshock therapy was something that she got as a result of her depression. Maybe while Callum was still very young. But I guess we'll find out. Okay. Read a page. Let me... Oh god, this is getting smaller, I swear. Continuously delayed by the incompetence of the builders. What? The prediction is that there are... I don't know what that says. The prediction is that there are locals, and so they believe a lot of the rumours about what Old Man Henderson used to do here. They grew up on these tales. I can't read this. Every time a bolt comes loose or a wrench goes missing, those fools are crossing themselves against the black magic. Of course, that is why I chose this site over all the other potentials. Solomon Island is a nexus for dark energies, and the thought of all that power just dissipating beneath the earth here, it makes my skin crawl. I called in a few favours back in Brooklyn and got someone at the local academy to see if they had any interesting books about local history. Turns out they do, and it turns out that Old Man Henderson has some pretty strong connections to the Brooklyn crowd. Perhaps something he wrote will help me find the piece of the plans that I am missing. Okay, so this Winter guy knows full well about this area's history and is planning on using it to his benefit. That's interesting to know. Unfortunately, we are probably well out of time for this episode, so I'm gonna go... Wait. Do I have to ride this as well? I'm gonna have to ride this as well, aren't I? Lag much. Oh wait, what's that?
So they are going to close this place down. Doesn't surprise me.
State inspection report, inspection date September 22nd, 1980. So that's a couple of years later than most of the other things. Inspector's comments after touring the park, riding the rides and viewing the startling number of incidents suffered here in the park. It is this inspector's opinion that Atlantic Island Park should be shut down until Nathaniel Winter complies with all safety regulations. While I understand that there is a sensitive political relationship between Mr. Winter and the Senator, I nevertheless suggest that such political considerations be set aside in condemning Atlantic Island Park. The rides at first glance appear well constructed and maintained, but the sheer number of incidents in the park during the last few years and during construction lead me to believe that there is something wrong at the base level of construction, and we should close the park and fully investigate these flaws. To wit, here is a partial list of the fatalities in the park since opening only 2 years ago. Family of 3 killed when a roller coaster car derailed. 14 separate incidents of broken bones and crushed ribs when riding the Optotron. That's not fatality. 3 suicides from the top of the Ferris wheel. A child seriously injured on the escalator, also not a fatality. Over a dozen children reported missing in the House of Horrors since its construction. I don't think this guy knows what fatality is. 1 report of drowning in the Tunnel of Tales. What the hell is that noise? The sheer volume of incidents means that it is my strongest recommendation that Atlantic Island Park be closed immediately. David Walseth. Okay. So, yeah, I probably agree with this guy. I mean, I know that it's seen to be very superstitious. You know, the whole crossing yourself and encouraging bad spirits to leave, but it's kind of one of those... If I was told there were bad spirits hanging around and doing something would get rid of the bad spirits, I'd at least consider it for, you know, depending on what the thing is. I mean, crossing myself is pretty harmless, and I would do it repeatedly if I thought it was going to help, you know, because I will not hedge my bets on anything. I won't even do the whole Bloody Mary in the mirror thing. Is it missing? It's missing a carriage. I'm sure there's a gap there. Anyway, but yeah, I won't hedge my bets, I won't push fate, I won't risk anything, I won't do it. And on that note, I'm going to leave this episode here. Thank you for watching, guys, hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, then give that like button some love, and I'll be back with more The Park tomorrow evening.